Hi, this is Cherise from Read the Tarot, and I want to give you a message from your animal spirit guides. This message is for those who are dealing with low self-esteem. And of course, all of us have periods in our lives where our self-esteem is not where it's supposed to be. And we can deal with too much self-esteem and run into problems. And of course, if our self-esteem is too low, we can run into problems. And healthy self-esteem is so important in our personal relationships because we can't even learn how to love other people correctly until we first learn how to love ourselves. And when I was a young girl in Christian church, I was taught joy, that the meaning of joy is to love Jesus first, then love others, and then love yourselves. And sometimes in life, though, we forget to love ourselves because many times we are last on the list. When that happens, we do run into problems in life. Some of us have been taught that loving yourself is vain, loving yourself is too much ego, and we actually don't love ourselves. So this is going to be a message for those of us who are dealing with low self-esteem, those of us who don't really know what it means to love ourselves. And that could be based on many things that have happened in your life. Maybe you didn't feel love as a child. Maybe that's why you have a hard time loving yourself. But right now, I'm going to do the Pico Pico breathing technique to become centered. And animal spirit guides, I am asking you to reveal the perfect message for those right now who are dealing with low self-esteem, those who need to focus on growing and developing their own self-love. And the card, the animal spirit message, is right here. And it is the cardinal. The polarities of your spiritual pursuits and physical pleasures are out of balance. So do whatever is necessary to bring them back into equilibrium. The cardinal. And I'm going to read the extended message for you. And remember, this is a message for those of us who are dealing with low self-esteem. Let me get this right here for you. You can see I love cardinals. Cardinals are my favorite birds, and I attract them to my yard. I love cardinals. When on the spiritual path, it's easy to idealize what being spiritual means. It can become a rigid mental imprint on which you judge anything that varies from your conceptualization of what being spiritual is supposed to be about. This includes not only another person's practices and beliefs, but your own. Falling short of this idealism leads to either assuming a righteous and arrogant position with others, or when self-imposed elicits guilt and shame. This spiritual perfectionism can make you reticent about enjoying the pleasures of the material world, as well as those of your physical body. The earth herself provides a dazzling and sensual panorama of experiences to be directly encountered through the physical senses. Yet for many, truly enjoying the pleasures of the senses of sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell can be fraught with worry, anxiety, guilt, and shame. Products of early childhood religious and or cultural conditioning. Others become so entangled in the world of the senses that it becomes their God, and their spiritual core is lost to materiality. To be polarized in one direction or another takes you either to lofty heights and iridescent abstractions that are completely ungrounded, or else causes you to become caught up in the glue of the mundane world without the guiding light of spirit to provide a locus of authority. With the blessing of your awareness, you can redirect your thoughts and actions toward that which brings greater balance and fluidity between the two polarities. And associations of this card, the cardinal card, let me bring it back into focus. Associations of this card include courtship, singing, vitality, self-defense, integration, balance, spirituality, fatherhood, harmony, self-expression, confidence, listening, intuition, creativity, responsibility, and colorfulness. And I just want to reiterate what I said when I began this reading, before I shuffled the cards and before I pulled the cardinal, before I read this message. I was relaying the story of when I was a young child in the Christian church, and I was taught that joy meant Jesus, others, you. And then I went on to explain how in many churches, many cultural and religious environments, we are taught to put ourselves last. But this is out of balance. It is out of balance because if you don't know how to love yourself first, you don't know how to love others, and you don't know how to love your higher power. You don't know how to love God. And this is why it's out of balance. Because many religions will focus and teach you to love God, whichever God you believe, to the point of self-sacrifice. But if you truly don't understand what it means to love, which begins with yourself, you are not going to be able to love that which is outside of you. And that's probably, something that, I would be called a heretic in the church for saying something like that. But it is what I have experienced. It is what I know to be true. There is nothing wrong with enjoying your life. There is nothing wrong with having healthy self-esteem. There is nothing wrong with loving yourself. And there's nothing wrong with almost demanding that you're treated with respect, treated with love. And it doesn't matter what your religious upbringing is. There are many people who use religion and basically teach you from a young age that what is really a healthy self-esteem is sin. It's pride. And it's not pride. It is not pride. It is the foundation for you in your life. So if you are coming from a place where religion has brought this monstrosity into your life, where your self-love is non-existent because you are taught that it's wrong, then I pray that this message will open up your eyes and that you will truly begin to see yourself not through the lens that somebody else painted for you, but through the lens of your own intuition, through the lens of your own heart, and through the lens of your own spiritual awakening, that you won't be puffed up with this spiritual pride, and you won't actually use almost a low self-esteem as a way of puffing up your spiritual pride, because that's out of balance. But that you can learn to love yourself, you can learn to enjoy the life that you've been given, and understand and recognize that loving yourself is the foundation to loving others. It doesn't work the other way around. It really, truly doesn't. So I hope this message blessed you. That was the message from Cardinal, our animal spirit guide. And I would also say, if this message resonated with you, that you may want to be on the lookout for some cardinals in your daily walk, maybe in your garden tomorrow. So God bless you. Thank you. And remember, read the tarot.